All right, guys, today you guys are going to be completing a poetry pre-writing assignment. As we talked about yesterday and the day before, we've been analyzing several different poems over the last few weeks. Now, you've got an assignment sheet. All of this is found on Google Classroom. You basically have four things that you need in your poem. Number one, your poem should include 4 lines. That's one stanza. Everybody remembers what a stanza is, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Number two, your poem must contain 1 line containing a simile, 1 line containing a metaphor, 1 line containing an example of personification, and 1 line containing alliteration. Okay? 3, after composing your poem, you will publish it in the form of an infographic using one of the following platforms: a Google slide or a poster board. Number 4, once you have published your poem, you will present your final product to the class using one of the following media. Either you will use Screencastify, or you will actually physically come up here and do an oral presentation. That is another option. Okay. All right. Scroll it up. All right. So we're going to start today with brainstorming. Step 1. This should take no more than 5 to 10 minutes, guys. After you are put into pairs, and some of you have pre-selected pairs for different reasons, but most of you are going to be able to select your own partners. Okay. Once you get into your pairs, you're going to brainstorm. This should take about 5 to 10 minutes. I've given you some possible themes and settings to use here. Okay. Now, I want all of your lines to flow together. They should all be connected to a theme or a setting, and I'll explain that to you a little bit more in just a moment. But here are some possible themes that you can use. You do not have to use one of these, but they are there for you to use. Okay. Step 2, you're going to actually write and compose your lines. This should take you about 15 to 20 minutes. Again, scroll up. Again, you've got some space here for your simile, your metaphor, your personification, and alliteration. Now, I also have paper copies of this over here, and some of you will receive paper copies. Okay, if you need a paper copy, I will give one to you. Okay, paper copies, of course, contain lines here. Step 3, you're going to publish your infograph. You're going to use Google Slides, or you're going to use a poster board. Okay, is everybody clear with that? Okay, again, 20 to 25 minutes. Scroll up. After that, you're going to revise your lines. This should take you maybe 5 minutes, tops. And then finally, step 5, you're going to present. If you create a Screencastify, scroll up, that may take you between 5 to 10 minutes because you've got to download the video, and I've got to go over that with you, and I will go over that with you later on today. You may do a Screencastify, or you may do an oral presentation. Okay? All right. You have some other handouts on Google Classroom. Click the next tab to the left. Okay? This is your rubric. I'm giving you this so that you can look at. Again, I've got paper copies of the rubric here as well. But I need for you and your partner to look over this rubric before you get started, so that you can look at, okay, this is what's going to be scored. This is where my grade is going to come from. Okay. Also, next tab over. Some of you will be receiving a paper copy of this, but this is also posted on Google Classroom. You've got some links here to help you get started. This right here is actually a graphic organizer that certain groups will receive anyway. But again, I've made it available to all of you. In addition to that, some of you will use manipulatives. Okay, I have some cards here, and on these cards are printed animals, trees, ponds, buildings, firefighters, different things to help jog your memory, to help you get into that concrete versus abstract thinking. Okay, so that is also going to be provided to certain groups in here, but they will be made available to all of you should you need it. Okay, all right. I want to finally go over the final product, okay? Because I believe that we need to begin with the final product in mind. This is ultimately what I want you to create, okay? This is an infographic that I did, and as you can see, you've got imagery here, you've got clip art that's used here. The background is in a shade of gray, okay? But let's look at the 4 lines here. It says, atop the ancient hill stood a deserted house, a shell of years past. Now notice that I've got the word house and shell outlined. What is this an example of? Metaphor. It's a metaphor because I'm calling the house a shell. Look at the next line. As we walked through the gate, we heard the wind whispering its warnings. Okay? This line actually contains two things, right? First of all, the wind whispering its warnings is an example of what? Personification. Also, though, if you look at we walked, we, wind, whispering, warnings, this is also an example of what? Alliteration. Okay? The thunder cracked and a flash revealed shadows of strangers. Because I had incorporated these two in that one line, I just simply used imagery in this one. Finally, this line, we have, and we ran as fast as lightning to escape the coming doom, which is what? That's an obvious simile. Okay, next example. This one I actually used one of the themes from your handout. Okay, if you look at it, it states, after Shay's alarm clock announced the coming of the day, she walked across her room like a sleeping zombie. The coffee from her Keurig was medicine that gave the gift of gab to her. So again, if you look at these, the very first one is an example of a what? The clock announced personification. She walked across the room like a sleeping zombie. That's a simile. The coffee from her Keurig was medicine, metaphor, and that gave the gift of gab to her again. Okay, that's alliteration. This is what I want at the end, okay? The only addition to this is that you will be presenting these, and you'll be presenting these by creating a 1 to 2 minute video using Screencastify, or you will be getting up here in front of the class and preparing a 1 to 2 minute oral presentation. Are there any questions? Okay? All right, so for you guys, I'm going to give you this sheet. That may help you. Okay? And here are some cards. I know this may seem elementary, but they've got pictures on them. Okay? Look at some of these pictures that may help you with. Go ahead and open them up. I'm hoping what this will do is help you to picture some of the concrete objects that you need in order to create similes or metaphors. In particular, metaphors or similes. If you turn them over, you see pictures of animals, pictures of different things. Okay. Some of them are silly, but some of them have, you know. Okay. Did you open your cards? Go ahead and pull them on out. Okay. And again, this may seem elementary, guys, but so you've got different. For example, you got a football player. Okay, remember I used a simile or I used a metaphor in my example, right? Over here you've got different animals, cows, sea turtle, frogs. Okay. But go through these and think about how they may spark images that you might use in your now on here you've actually got lines that you can use. Okay? And as you fill these out, this will help you walk through the process. Okay? The wind in the trees did what? Did it whisper to you? Did it talk to you? The waves of the ocean. Think about what the waves of the ocean might do. Okay? So that would be personification. Metaphors. The clouds in the sky are what? Puffy, puffs of white cotton. That would be a metaphor, right? So let's use this one for example. If I said Jimmy is as blank as a blank on the football field, what could you put there? He's what? Okay, so write that in there, just as an example. Jimmy is as fast as a lightning bolt, right? Is that a simile? That would be a simile, right? Okay. Yes, sir. What about here? It says this one is a blank one for you to come up with one on your own. The lawnmower was a blank yesterday after school. What could you use there? What was it? Have you ever cut grass with a push mower? Has it ever been very difficult? Okay. So what?
Not very pleasant.
It's not very pleasant. But what's an image? What's something that you could come up with? The lawnmower was what yesterday? It was a what?
Stubborn work.
Well, you could say it was a stubborn what? No, you're not going to say lawnmower because you can't use lawnmower. But like, what's an animal that's sometimes stubborn? You try to get it to do something and it won't go. What did the farmers used to use in the fields?
Mules.
Mules, right. So you could say the lawnmower was a stubborn mule yesterday, right? It was hard to push, right? So do you see where I'm going with this? And again, if you use these pictures, use some of these cards, use these manipulatives, that'll help you as well. Now, you've got a couple of websites here, too, that you can go to. If you guys will open up your Chromebooks and go to these websites, this may actually help you get started, too, because if you click on these websites, you're going to see, like, images that you can use, okay, like animals, things, buildings, trees. I mean, so that may help you as well, okay? All right, I'll let y'all work, okay? Now again, you don't have to use these in particular. I'm just giving these to you to get started, okay? All right, let's go over here. I brought with me some manipulatives. These are just, all this is some cards with images on it. Maybe this will help you guys jog your brains, okay? Ice cream cone, cat, seahorse. All right, so on here, for example, here's a graphic organizer for you. This may also help you get started. So, for example, ice cream cone, cat. Okay. Jimmy is as what? As a what on the football field? What if it's a cold day? You ever been to a football game on a cold day? All right, so couldn't you say Jimmy is as blank as an ice cream cone? Right? What would you say there then? Tough as an ice cream cone? No, what do you think of on an ice cream cone?
Soft.
Huh? Soft? What else?
Freezing.
If it's on a winter day, it's probably what? Cold, yeah. So you could say, for example, Jimmy is as cold as an ice cream cone on the football field, right? It's a cold day, all right? What about if you used cat right here? I am as blank as a cat when it comes to math, okay? Maybe not cat, maybe use a different image. What if you turn this into a metaphor? I am a blank when it comes to math. Superhero? What would that mean if you're a superhero when it comes to math?
You're strong.
You're good at math, right? So you see what I'm saying? You can match these up with some of these to get you started. Now, ultimately, you need to, like, over here, you need to have your simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration, and this is where you guys need to work together, okay? Okay, you think this will help you?
Yeah.
Okay? If you need any other cards, I've got them, okay? All right. All right, so over here, I'm going to give you guys that to use. This is a graphic organizer to help you get started with your similes and your metaphors. And here are some cards that might help you as well. Go ahead and open the cards and you'll see that there's animals. Okay. And I know you have struggled with English on some things, right? So this will help you, hopefully, to to visualize. And here's some other ones too. These have some other images in them. But like, for example, if you said Okay, crab. What do most people associate with crab? You ever heard someone say I'm crabby today?
Like they being petty.
Well, they could be petty, but what else? If you're in a crabby mood, what does that mean?
You're not in a good mood.
You're not in a good mood, right? So, for example, couldn't you say something like, let's take, for example, in the morning, Shane felt like a crab when he got out of bed. Well, what would that mean?
He was in a bad mood.
He was in a bad mood. So you could say, Shane felt like a crab, meaning, and that would be a simile, right? Well, what if we used another image? Okay. What if you said something like, well, what if you said, let's use one that's not on here. What do some people say that they can swim like? He can swim like a what? A fish, right? That would be a simile, right? If you took like or as out and you said he is a fish, for example, another one is he's a fish out of water. Do you know what that means?
It's a metaphor.
That's a metaphor, it is. But what does that mean? He's a fish out of water.
Like he can swim really good.
Well, he is, but if you say the expression, if you're a fish out of water, what does that mean?
Stay in the water.
If you go somewhere that you're not used to going to, and you're around people that you don't know, and I say, you're a fish out of water right now, aren't you?
Oh, you don't belong there.
You don't belong, right? See what I'm saying? So that's what I want you guys to do, is use that to build these metaphors and these similes, but build it around a common theme. Now some other places you can go are these two links right here. This will take you to some websites that'll help you with other images that you can use, okay?